This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Baggedmilk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Checking in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lickerdale.
That's an old man thing to say.
Fort Lickerdale.
All right, Unk.
Yeah, you're Unk on this one.
What does that mean? Is there someone always deemed an Unk?
Yeah, Chalmers.
Oh, fair. I am the Unk.
Yeah, you're Unk here today.
Yeah, you're Owen Radio.
But this is spring break Mecca.
It is.
In the States, and they call it Fort Lickerdale. So I'm the Unk because I'm one with the kids who like to party.
What is Unk? Is it old guy who wants to be young? Is that the definition of an Unk?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think you're old, Jay, by the way.
Urban Dictionary. I am
harsh.
All right. My chest hair is starting to get gray.
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
I'm getting the only thing that I'm not enjoying while getting older is the hangovers. So I don't drink as often anymore because I don't like the hangovers, but
you love the liquor.
When you're in situations like this, you need to drink because you're on a sports trip, and I know we have work to do. But you also need to drink because it's hot.
Oh, just like the condensation on the beers is immediate.
Yeah,
it is very hot.
It is.
I wish I had a Nation beer today.
Oh,
Oilersnation Radio Tuesday episode. We're going to talk about last night, but first we're going to do a delicious debate for our friends at Odd Company Brewing. Perfect for the next big game, your next go-to lager. Of course, we're talking about Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Find it at either Odd Company location in the city or at liquorconnect.com. Search it up. Find it at a liquor store near you. If they don't have it, ask them to bring it in. Ask them why they don't. Ask them why they don't want to sell more beer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, turning it over to you, putting you on the spot. Delicious debate today for our friends at Odd Company.
Should give it to Jay. Really put someone on the spot.
Well,
switch it around.
I'm debating if I want to go positive or negative with this one.
Why don't you just say?
Speak from the heart?
Yeah, give us both.
What pissed you off the most about Game 3?
Yeah,
the fans.
And what's the biggest reason why you're optimistic heading into Game 4?
Because it's the Oilers.
Mine was going to be how are you feeling today. So that kind of covers both. We could just combine.
Well, trifecta.
How are we feeling about everything?
Sweaty.
It's Tuesday down in Fort
I'm sweating it out. I'm definitely sweating it out.
Sweating it out.
Yeah.
Got to make sure you maintain hydration, or kidney stones, they're a problem.
I know I just had an hour and a half to get it out, but I'm over it. I'm on to the next one.
Me too.
Well, I think
that's the only thing you can do, though, really, isn't it? You just got to look forward. Like, again, the Oilers are down 2-1, which is not ideal. But at the end of the day, this is a 7-game series. It always felt like it was going to be a long one. And yeah, Game 3 was not Edmonton's best, nowhere close. But I was listening to you guys on ONE, and that might have been the worst game they've played since 1 and 2 against LA.
Oh, maybe even worse.
Yeah, I think it was way worse.
It was terrible.
Like, those two are bad, don't get me wrong, but like, at least they found a way in those games.
I think the Oilers had the same morning routine I did yesterday, which was a mistake. I spent way too much time out in the sun, and I think I had mini sunstroke, and the Oilers played like they had sunstroke.
They really did. They looked like they had a big beach day or something. Yeah. They just had no gas, and it started right from that first goal that Brad Marchand scored 50 seconds in, and it just didn't really pick up from there. The execution was poor. But like, why am I optimistic about Game 4? It wouldn't surprise me to lose 6-1 one game and watch the Oilers beat them 7-2 on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this team makes no sense sometimes, and I say that as a positive.
Yeah.
They still have Connor McDavid. They still have Leon Draisaitl. They still have all these pieces that can put up points, put up wins, put up goals. So it's just, you got to shake it off. You got to flush it and move on.
Yeah. Everything kind of went back to me. It's just like, we can't dwell on what happened yesterday. It sucked. It sucked. But the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Finals. And all we can do and all we have is hope and belief. And we have to keep it going. We just have to reset. You know, the Oilers they're the pros in all this. Yeah. We have to reset. So drinking Kool-Aid from the funnel, ice cold Kool-Aid.
It's got to be.
Oilers puck line tomorrow is going to be my pick of the night.
All right. We'll do the betting talk later, but you're in a hole with your bookie there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm also in a hole with the bookie.
I'm going to bet my way out of it.
So
it's the only way out
to do it. Yeah,
it's the only way out is through.
Just keep betting. If I have to start reaching and getting into IPL cricket, to get out of my hole with the bookie, I will do it.
We can look into that if you'd like.
Yeah. Do you got that market bookie?
Tyler's locked in on international ping pong.
Yeah. Give me Virat Kohli
that's a good
batting
one.
for a century. His next T20.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
How many sixes in the next?
Well, Virat, quite a few. Probably 12.
Well,
I
yeah,
would think.
he's a batsman
Yeah.
but he's retiring. But he's out of the test game. He's out of the
The one is he?
So what's the 5-day games? Are those the
Yeah,
test
those are
matches?
5-day
He's
test.
just a 1 day guy now.
He's a 1 day guy.
Oh, how many overs are those 1 days?
A 1 day international is 50, but a 2020 also under the 1 day category is 20.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay.
50, and 6 balls denote an over.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to protect the wickets, though, Tyler. You know.
Yeah.
Tyler-
Do not wave your legs. That'll be an LBW.
I will tell you this right now. As a baseball fan, you go to a T20 match, you will be
It's way
you'll be locked in.
It's more
And
exciting
in
than a baseball
Australia, at a T20 pro match, if you catch a 6 with one hand, you get a free beer.
Really?
Ooh.
And guess what? They don't give you a glove.
Yeah,
That
it's
is bad.
cricket styles.
I played cricket a little bit, just like when we were in Australia, we were having fun, like seeing what it was like to stand in the box and try and swing the bat or whatever you would call it. Catching that ball barehanded is psycho shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, getting one in the ribs isn't too great either when you're the batter. Not a
No, I
lot
can't
of
imagine
protection
it
on
is.
the ribs.
No, that's not what Ricky Ponting would have wanted.
Oh,
No, Ricky wouldn't want that.
Tyler looks very interesting.
My
You might be
favorite
falling
part is
asleep.
that this is the only sports conversation I've ever been a part of that you're totally lost.
I know nothing.
Majority is in on it now.
Yeah,
We should play cricket. It's fun.
We
it is
should.
fun.
I buy. I'm in.
I kept getting in trouble from my Aussie buddies though, because I was swinging it more like a baseball bat as
Yeah,
opposed to
I
a
know.
golf club.
Got to get it down to your feet.
It's
Bring it up.
the whole
It's a
grip
scoop.
thing. Yeah.
It's like golf, kind of.
Ish, but like
Yeah, but you're tighter.
charge.
A lot of
It's
blocking.
about forward. Yeah, you got to
Yeah, block, power
Yeah,
block.
Yeah.
sword in the shield, if you will.
I know,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Tyler, how you feeling? Back to the delicious debate.
Yeah, like I mean, disappointing to come all this way and watch them get shit pumped in a game.
Spanked.
And like goaltending bad, ability to move the puck bad, discipline bad, officiating bad, power play not great. And it's like, oh, nothing went their way.
Yeah, beer price is
Yeah.
high.
Well, for you boys
Sky
in the
high.
seats.
Like
Yeah, it just sucked, man. But at the same time, like you said, nothing makes sense.
$25 US for a Canadian is
It is funny
that's tough.
It's a big one, but it's
experiencing road pops in comparison to your home pops. Like when everyone's just like, oh, they're so expensive at Rogers. Like, they're pretty much just the same everywhere.
Actually, they're good value at
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah.
I learned after going to Amerant Bank Arena again last night.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm drinking exclusively Molson Canadians next game.
yeah, we really got to. We were talking about it this morning. We got to change something.
We gotta
They
change
sell
something.
there. I do not like that beer.
No,
no,
that
they don't have
gentleman-
nation beer on. They don't have nation beer at Amerant Bank
No.
Arena, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that gentleman next to you was asking you about it, and you were
Well,
like,
I kind of made him because he heard me talk about it, and then he got one.
Oh yeah, he did. He's
And then,
like, "This is
then
from
we're
my
talking about
Canadian friends."
everything on the can meant. So
Yeah,
it
I
was
was
kind of
wondering-
nice. I was educating the guy beside me about some Canadiana. He was a nice guy.
Yeah,
He had the
was.
boost shots prop. So
Secondary delicious debate, I guess, is what did you think of the experience last night for Game 3?
I don't want this to come across lightly. This is
You mean
heartfelt.
this to be offensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the worst sports experience I've ever had in my life. The on ice product was terrible, and the off ice product was worse.
and they had DJ Khaled.
And that was arguably the worst part.
Somebody's got to give DJ Khaled some notes, you know?
Yeah.
He called them now the starting lineup for our Oilers, and everybody's like, "What?"
Did he
Yes,
actually? I
DJ
didn't
Khaled,
hear that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and he had a look, but he had a pause and look. Oilers.
Yeah,
It's like, come on.
It was awesome.
but I did enjoy DJ Khaled slipping all the catchphrases in before the lineups were announced.
Yes.
Like, another one. We the best. You got
knows
to
what
Like,
he's there
it's
for.
cool that he's there, but man, it was
Yeah.
kitschy. They're like their game opening entertainment.
Brutal.
Holy shit. You don't realize, folks, how good we have it in Edmonton.
No.
Their product versus ours is night and day.
So if it didn't come through on the broadcast, which I imagine it wouldn't have, they just have basically a show on the ice
Yeah.
where the logos are moving around
Yeah.
and stuff. It was just like
Fans are quiet.
That was
you can hear the rats
Very
squeaking
quiet.
around the building. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
One other thing I noticed too, and I don't think they do this at Rogers in the playoffs at least. When they do games at the rink last night, it was one person playing. But at Rogers Place, I don't think they really do that, do they, in the playoffs? I remember, like, it's like everyone's in it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like an individual thing. It was it's just the people weren't bought in last night. People left.
I just couldn't believe how quiet it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've been very fortunate, the four of us, to go to a lot of different rinks over the last 2 years. And for the Stanley Cup Finals, it's at that point I started noticing it most was 4-1 Panthers. It was January quiet in there.
It was brutal. Like, if the Oilers were up 5-1 with 4 minutes to go in a playoff game, people would not be going to their cars early in Edmonton. And I don't want this to sound like we're all like, oh, Edmonton, the Canadian hockey fans, so good, blah, 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 blah. I get it's different, but like, fuck, it just pisses me off, man.
It
like,
just matters. It matters to us more, and it's
I
like
know.
they don't even deserve it.
they don't.
They don't deserve it.
There are Panthers fans who do, but en masse.
The ones that were on our flight here, leaving Edmonton, going to game
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Tip of the cap. Good for you.
100%.
They did the thing. They went, experienced a different arena. They're traveling for their favorite team. They're coming back home. You respect it. But Liam and I last night were having fun tweeting out some quotes from people that were sitting around us, and
all true, by the way.
really kicked a hornet's nest on
There was
social.
many more of them too that we just didn't put out there.
The one guy just yelled, "Puck movement! That's puck movement!"
And it was just a
And I'm like, and he thought anytime an Oiler was rushing the puck, it was McDavid.
Yep.
Holy, McDavid! I'm McDavid. I'm like, it's Janmark.
To be fair, we make that mistake sometimes too.
That time he was right. Sorry, I should have went with someone else.
My favorite one though was the family that was sat behind us. The mom was like, McDavid's done for the game, and her son was like, he's literally skating with the puck right now, and they had a full-on argument about him not playing in the game. He was on the ice.
Yeah, she
It
was
was such an
she was
event.
getting her news from Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Oilers Space Nation account.
So I
Should give them a
attribute,
plug.
and maybe Liam, you can respect this, but the visualization I have of our like pregame audiovisual experience and also crowd vibes, Edmonton versus Carolina, is the Haka then versus now.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen those videos?
Has the Haka
Yeah.
gone woke?
No, the Haka is legit.
I love the Haka.
We are the
Yeah.
now Haka. Florida is the Haka from the 60s. You should pull up a video of people of the All Blacks doing the Haka in like the 60s. It looks like they're playing patty cake. That is the visualization I get in my head.
That's in because I've never seen this video that Tyler's pulling up. When I think of the Haka, I think of what it is now.
Yes.
And it's one of the coolest things in sports.
I think that was jazz hands.
Oh yeah,
And
look
also-
at that. There's a
also,
little groove
too,
going.
I believe back in that time, the reason it looked like this is because like the indigenous New Zealanders weren't actually allowed on the team. So these guys didn't even know what the dance was. And that's how it felt. But there's also the funny video from it was one of the Olympics where the New Zealand basketball team had to do it.
The Tall Blacks.
Yeah.
That's true.
But with all these white guys. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that's right. It was the one kid behind us was very passionate the whole time. You exchanged phone numbers with him, actually.
Yeah, he was yelling.
Yeah.
You exchanged phone numbers with a minor.
He was
I don't know if he was a
probably
minor,
some-
but so
young boy.
Oilers fans were leaving in the
Oil
third.
up.
Oilers fans were leaving in the third, and they were just heckling him. This one guy
Yeah.
especially was like kind of being aggressive. I'm like, buddy, if you're a real fan, come to Edmonton
Yeah.
and see how we treat you.
It wasn't-
And he's like, yeah, I will. And then he's like, if you pay for it. I'm like, okay. So I got his phone number. I'm not going to do it. But I thought about it because I'd had a few $900 beers.
My
Last night, when
favorite
he got
line
brought
of
up,
the
you
night.
did think you were like, I might do it.
Yeah.
My favorite line of the night.
I still
hands
might
down-
text him and just flinch and be
Yeah.
like, hey, man, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm booking the flight.
flights at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
My favorite line of the night, hands down, was in the third period when shit's going off the rails and there's fights everywhere and there's the line brawls or whatever. And there's a guy behind us that screams out, beat that Canadian pussy's ass. And Liam goes to me, he goes, that's Trent Frederick. He's American. And the Panther is Sam Bennett, who is Canadian. So Way she goes.
Yeah, that was
the
funny.
USA chants, and I
get it.
I get it but it's like they don't get it.
It becomes such a thing in the playoffs where just everyone wants to do it, and it's like it's not Canada versus the USA. You know what I mean?
So we want the cup chants. A little too premature.
And if it was Canada versus the USA, we know how that plays out.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And your boy would be scoring against you.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Let's talk about what happened last night. But first, I want to tell you that Oodle Noodle is giving you a delicious reason to celebrate game nights. On game days, you go on into Oodle Noodle and get 2 signature boxes and 2 spring rolls for just $29.97. Offer valid in store or at oodlenoodle.ca and get takeout. It's a perfect way to get your evening going. Get a couple of boxes in you and some spring rolls. It's delicious. Go on into Oodle Noodle and grab a nation sticker while you're at it.
We're purposely going to a place called Noodles. In the name.
Yes, we got a team dinner.
Noodle. It's got Noodle in the name, just to pay homage to Oodle Noodle.
Well, let's look back at the unfortunateness that was last night's game. It did not start off very well when Brad Marchand, who is unstoppable in this series, apparently.
he had 3 straight Florida Panthers goals.
What is that?
Can I put producer Pat on blast for a second since he's not here to defend himself?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Yep.
He maybe doesn't have the best knowledge of the history of the Florida Panthers. Who could blame him? We're sitting in the press box. There's a rat mascot that they have. And Pat goes, did they seriously just get a rat mascot when they got Brad Marchand? I was like, what? Pat, that started in the 90s.
See, that's where I respect the guys I saw walking around in the Scott Mellenby jerseys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they've
True
been
OGs.
around for a minute.
Yeah.
But Brad Marchand, man, when he got traded, it was like, man, it's going to be so weird to look at Brad Marchand in a Panthers jersey and like whatever, Oilers bias, all that aside. Fuck, does he ever fit in with the Panthers?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
pretty
his team.
unfortunate.
That's his team.
He looks like he was always meant to be there, honestly. And as much as I hate to say it, it's true.
Like even Corey Perry with the Oilers, it's like, at least for me, like it's still kind of weird to like see him in an Oilers jersey and be like, damn, Corey Perry is like an Oiler and he's doing all this cool shit. Brad Marchand feels like he's been a Panther for a decade.
The worst part about it, though, is like Brad Marchand scores 56 seconds in. None of us really understand what was going on the goal or where Stu was going and how the net ended up as open as it was. But then from there, you got Evander Kane cross-checking against Forsling, Evander Kane high-sticking against Brad Marchand, and then the Oilers get tagged with the too many men, and all of this is before the 10-minute mark of the first period.
Yeah, and then even too, like the Alberton penalty, every single penalty was in the offensive zone. Besides the too many men, obviously.
Not great.
It's just like, you gotta...
I did learn, though, last night, too many men means there was too many guys on the ice.
I thought it was 5-minute major.
I thought it was a 5-minute major, too. Turns out it's not.
Is that another quote you guys heard in the seats?
Yeah.
Every penalty is a 5-minute major, is what we
everyone's a
learned.
Major, suspendable, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
The Oilers just seemed like over aggressive, over excited. Like
They were overstimulated.
yeah, like Kane was like, I'm going to go out there and like, I'm going to show the Panthers who's boss. I'm going to get in this crowd's head.
And just hit guys.
I know, but he just, again, went a little bit too hard and he was undisciplined and Corey Perry pulled him aside in the TV timeout. They went for a skate together.
Shout out to Pat Puff for getting that video.
Yeah. And credit to Evander Kane. I actually thought he bounced back really nicely in the game.
Wasn't Kane skating around the ice during the anthems?
Yep.
He was. Yeah, it's like that was already weird.
He was, again,
That already told us something fucking weird was going to happen.
It really was. It was all weird. So ultimately, looking at the special teams, just to wrap it up, it did not go well for our beloved Oilers. Panthers tagged them on 3 of 11.
11 power play attempts in a Stanley Cup playoff game.
Oilers only scored 1 of 6.
Well, to be fair, Matthias Janmark was running the point towards the end on the power play.
We did have a beer league roster going on towards the end of the third period. Yeah.
Someone put on O&E is like, don't you find it disrespectful the players the Panthers put out on the power play at the end? I was like, I don't think they had anyone left. Like they kind of just had to throw guys out.
The 10-minuters were everybody was getting.
What
Oprah.
was the total assigned penalty minutes?
140, 85 for the
Is that a
Oilers.
record?
I don't know if it's
most power plays, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a record.
But yeah,
They did get 11.
Yes, they did.
So like, yeah, 17 power plays between the two teams in that game. And the Oilers talked about it after. Wallman and Skinner both kind of said like, it's really hard to get in the feel of a game. And like Aaron on post game asked me, he's like, man, I did not notice Leon Draisaitl all that much in that hockey game. And I was like, yeah, because he doesn't kill penalties. And half the game was penalty killing.
Yeah. I said towards the end of the first at BM2, I was like, half these guys have probably played a shift or two.
Yeah.
Like it is difficult. And you even look at Florida, like I know that they obviously went into the break with 2 goals, but it didn't come till the Arvidsson penalty.
Yeah.
It took them a while too.
And that was another frustrating thing too, is like when the Oilers finally narrowed the gap with Corey Perry scoring early in the second period. What happens immediately after that is John Klingberg runs into the linesman. Devin Dubnyk last night on After Dark is like, you got to have more awareness than that. He's on the ice. He has nowhere to go.
Yeah, and like people again, well, it's a slash, that's a hook. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Like you got to play through it. I mean, you look back at it too, and it was still soft, and you can't skate into the ref. Just glassing out.
And like, if that happens, don't do this little push thing that he did. Eat it. Grab the puck and stick it in your pants or something. Like you got to eat that.
Yeah, or actually eat it.
Anything. Prevent the goal. Maybe a save. Save would have been awesome.
That one I didn't love. Yeah,
like we can sit and talk about Stu, but everyone was bad.
Yeah,
Stu included.
So a minute and 20 after Corey Perry gets the Oilers on the board, Sam Reinhart puts them back up by 2, and then 4.5 minutes later, Sam Bennett puts them up by 3.
Breakaway.
Another breakaway.
That one was the backbreaker, obviously, because it made it 4-1. But like 3-1, you could still get one in the second. You're back in the third, and that goes in, and it just looked so easy. And it was like the Oilers got nothing in this one.
No. So what do you take away from it?
Even we were off PM. Corey Perry scores, and our high five was.
Yeah, we missed. It was sloppy.
It was sloppy.
Yeah, we ended up doing like a chest beat kind of thing.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
So Liam, I'll read the research you sent me earlier today about the blowouts in Stanley Cup Final games.
Okay, not that research.
Yeah. So these are in the last 8 years, the 4 call them blowouts in the Cup Final, correct?
For a team that then went on to win.
Okay. So the Oilers beat the Panthers 8-1 last year. Panthers still go on to win the series. Obviously, they lost the next game. The Bolts in 2022 beat the Avs 6-2 in game 3. So very, very similar. The Avs went on to win it in 6. 2019, the Bruins beat the Blues 7-2 in game 3. Blues went on to erase the deficit, win in 7. 2017, the Predators smoked the Penguins 5-1. That was in game 3. Penguins still won it in 6 games. I just think with this Oilers team, and you can read into it all you want, whatever. It's a game-to-game thing in a playoff series, and it's a long series. And when the Oilers lost 1-0 to Dallas, if someone would have been like, Oilers in 5, you would have been like, no, you're crazy. That game showed Dallas has more juice than Vegas. It's going to be a really long series, right? I don't know, man. I just think
you can't count them out.
You
just can't.
And the thing is, if the Oilers had won last night 6-1, I mean, maybe different because you would have grabbed back home ice advantage. But like, I also don't think I'd be sitting here being like, Cats can't play with them. Like, series over, dust off your hands. Like, it just doesn't carry over from game to game.
Yeah, it's the Cup Final. Like, I think anything can happen on a night to night. And I think the previous 2 games are an example of what the series actually is, where it's like a lot closer and different styles of game as well. And I think the Oilers just lost their way yesterday. And they need to just get back on the path of, like, you look back at game 1 and we talk about Van de Kane. He was so physical, but like purposely physical, and he was having an impact on the game.
Hits with intent.
Yeah, like yesterday he was just hitting. Like there wasn't a lot to it. There wasn't any positive outcome to it. And he needs to find his game again, because especially if Nugent's obviously a bit banged up, like you need Kane to get going here.
I also think like the Oilers would be better served not engaging after the whistle as much as they did last night. Like that's what the Panthers want you to do.
They're kind of cowardly.
The Panthers had a game plan.
Yeah, and they executed it perfectly.
And we just fell right into their hands. And also we didn't have any jam anyways. And then we're trying to be like how they are, but we're like, once again, you got to live in the gray in the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's where the Panthers play. And we tried to do that, but we pushed it too far. We were outside the gray. I love the emotion. I love the fact that they care. I love the fact there was pushback. I love the fact that, Frederick cross-checked Bennett in the arm there at the end, like to try to have them, have their win, but feel it a little bit. But, there's some stuff that also was, embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of it, was definitely a little bit of like sore loser, but some of it I think can maybe like galvanize this Oilers team a little bit and bring them together. It's like, hey, we're in the fight together now, boys. Like, let's go.
Yeah. No more sun the rest of this trip.
No.
Stay inside.
Stay in the AC, boys.
Sun bad, like the guy from Benchwarmers.
Yeah. He eats mayonnaise, though, to be fair.
No, sunscreen.
Is it sunscreen?
Yeah, he eats sunscreen.
Tyler and I were walking to get iced coffees this morning, and we walked past just a building construction down the road from our Airbnb, and all I could think about is I would have quit that job before coffee break. It is too hot out here.
Yeah, I've already switched my shirt today. I'm running out.
I'm just tarps off. Like, there's no point in having a shirt on right now.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened from all the shenanigans last night, Jake Wallman fined $10,000, 2 separate $5,000 fines. Jake Wallman has been fined $5,000 for the maximum allowable for roughing Florida Matthew Tkachuk.
Okay, so that was that one. And then
Wallman has also been fined $5,000 for the maximum allowable for unsportsmanlike conduct for an incident involving the Florida bench.
Oh, he squirted water.
Squirted water. Though they did steal his glove and threw it on the bench, so that's why he did it.
Yep. Tit for tat.
So
Did you
some
see
shenanigans.
actually after all those scrums happened, Kapanen was just hammering the Florida Panthers helmets down the ice. He was launching those things.
He also got a beer poured on him.
Yeah, don't do that. I think when you watch that video too, everyone around you could kind of see like, why did you do that?
It was the lady. Hey, it wasn't the guy.
lady, yeah. So
I also
hopefully she
hate,
gets some
like-
justice.
Again, doing the whole like Panthers fans learn some class. I mean, remember when the Oilers, I said this day on ONE, when they eliminated the Kings on home ice in game 5 and people were throwing beers at the Kings? Like, I don't know. You can't paint the fan base with that broad of a brush. There's a few bad apples everywhere.
Here's a brush you could paint all fan bases with. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Broad stroke.
Yeah, that's big red one.
There's a couple of things that bother me. Like, don't pour a beer on an opposing player, regardless of what's going on. Second, that is a very expensive beer.
Well,
I'm offended on a personal
They are in the
level.
rich seats, so
They were.
Yep.
They were. I still don't like it.
yeah.
I did like DJ Khaled, though. He was very funny.
He was freestyling in the first intermission.
I didn't watch.
I didn't stick around.
Yeah, I know.
How's the freestyle? You got a little sample for us?
Yeah, it shows what you got.
No, I honestly tuned it out. Then I came to give you back your zins, Jay. So I missed half the concert.
Thank you.
We did meet quite a few listeners yesterday, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
A gentleman from New Jersey who
Very
Okay.
funny interaction.
Yeah.
He went up, hey, I watch your show all the time to Liam. And then he looked at Jay and goes, you hate Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
and then as we were walking out of the rink, I was talking to a guy who is from Newfoundland, and him and his dad flew down to come to this game because it's closer than flying to Edmonton.
Fair.
He lived in Edmonton during the 06 Cup run and stayed as a fan. And he said he watches Oilersnation.
Respect. There's a guy from the Grand Cayman.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We met up with Justin from Jacksonville.
Oh,
Yeah.
What a beauty. He
Yep.
bought you guys the beers.
Yeah, bought us beer.
He ran up and brought us some beers. It was nice.
I should have come down for that, and I recognize that, but I was really trying to switch the tides.
You were taking one for the team.
And
Well,
I
we-
have gone down for every single intermission since we have been here this season, last season. I was like, something has to change.
We're doing a different seating arrangement and we're sitting in a different section.
Yeah.
I was contemplating not going to game 4.
No way.
I was going to watch it on my iPad in the room.
I was contemplating it.
I'll just sit in the air conditioning and watch it by myself.
Save yourself the money.
To be fair, I've not seen the Oilers win here.
I also haven't. I'm 0 for 4 in Florida.
Like it's
I'm over 3.
It's pretty it's like it's almost like my Cleveland Browns record.
Is it bad?
I've never seen them win.
Oh my God.
And I've watched 5
And you're going to
games.
go all the way to London next year?
Yes.
Go Vikings.
Yes.
Go Vikings.
I got a funny feeling they're not winning. Actually, the Vikings might be bad next year. I
Yeah.
digress.
How dare you? They will not.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like we said, pregame drinks. Why do we go for them?
I don't know that
Do
it
we
should
should
be
mix it
yards.
up?
Well, I think 100%.
Yeah. I think we should.
Have you guys considered this? I saw a group doing it, and maybe you could as well. There were people tailgating in the parking lot.
I did see that.
We did see that. It's too hot.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
too
walking
hot.
to the rink and getting to the seats was life changing in a bad way.
Like, the thing is, Amerant Bank Arena is a really nice arena,
It is. It is.
but it is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And across the freeway, you've got like strip malls and stuff, but then you have to do this meandering journey around this long fence
We gotta
to get
figure
in
that
there.
out too.
By the time I got in there, I remember when we were walking in and showing our tickets, the girls were like, "Go Cats" to us. They were just being playful. I'm like, "Go air conditioning." And they're like, "Yep, get in there."
I think we got to go left instead of right when we
I
leave.
think so too.
I
Through the
think so,
parking
too.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
agree.
we're going to mix that. We're definitely doing that just to switch it up, but I also think it's going to be more
I
efficient.
might table this. We meet up at the Elbow Room tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah.
Pre-game at the Elbow Room and go down as a crew.
Straight out. I think we should push that on social and try to get and push for people to pregame at the Elbow Room.
Yeah, I think so.
And then go straight to the game. It'll be hot.
You got a limo.
Maybe get a limo.
Could get a limo.
Or maybe Tyler can
Drive us.
take 10 of us.
Nope.
Just make sure that
You won't do
it's
10?
pre-cooled in the
Seems like a
car
lot.
before.
Well, trunk can fit 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't have enough small town in you.
No.
What do we
No,
got out
I
there? What
heard
kind of
it.
vehicle is that?
A Nissan Rogue.
Oh, you could fit 10 in there.
Somewhere.
Come on.
Yeah.
Pack the trunk full.
Comfortably. You're driving, so why do you care?
Yeah, you have to drive.
I can't. I'm not on the rental.
Well, then you're riding shotgun.
Pat'll have to drive then. But
And
no, you can't sit shotgun because you sat shotgun last game.
Yep.
So you have to
Pat's your shotgun. You can go in the
Oh,
trunk.
Pat has to drive.
Pat might have to drive.
Yeah.
Pat didn't drive last time.
I drove us there.
Yeah.
I can't drive.
And we had a weird Puck Doku lineup. That gave me bad vibes.
I feel
too.
like they were wrong.
Well, to be fair, we did guess Brendan Morrow for Team USA, so that was a bad
That
one.
one was
that
on
was
us.
We were Panthers fans there.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't sit here and mock them if we're thinking Brendan Morrow's American.
Colby Cohn played his games for the Avs, not the Bruins.
Shame on you. I trusted you.
I just thought he was a black ace during that time. I thought he got into, I don't know
Yeah.
if I didn't know playoffs, but I thought he got into some games there. Shout out to our boy Colby.
Thanks, Colby.
So looking ahead at game 4, obviously there's a million ways the Oilers can improve on what happened. Liam, if you're picking what's your first thing that sticks out going into game 4 to turn the tides? Go back to Edmonton in a best of 3.
They got to find a structure. It was just so loose.
You were commenting on
yesterday.
that a lot last night. The lack of structure.
Well, it just seems so evident. Like no one seems to have any idea what they were supposed to do. And I find that when the Oilers are at their best, it's very difficult for the other teams to find gaps in the game and on the ice.
I think about game 1. Was it game 1 where they held the Panthers to 2 or 3
two
shots?
shots in the third. Yeah,
That structure was not there last night.
no,
There was
no.
nothing.
And I know later in the games, it's maybe a little easier for the Oilers to push when you're chasing, obviously, and the other team's sitting back a bit more. But they've done it throughout the playoffs where they've just been able to kind of eliminate a team for a good 20 minutes or so. And they need to do that. And the Panthers are no slouch by any means, but the Oilers have shown that they can score in bunches on them.
Mhm.
And yesterday, it looked like they had never scored a goal in the NHL before.
Would you make any lineup changes?
I would take out Klingberg and I put in Tony Stretcher. And I think that Matthias Ekholm, as much as I love him, and I'm not saying take him out of the lineup, as great as it is that he's come back, he has kind of ruined the rhythm on the blue line. And it's not his fault. You have to have him in the lineup.
But they had something that was working.
Yeah, and now I would take out Klingberg, put Stetcher there, then I would actually go Kulak, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Ekholm, Wallman. That's how I would line up.
I think you're
No
bang on.
forward changes.
So looking at
Maybe within the lines, but not any personnel.
Who starts in net?
Stu.
So here's the case. Are you with me on Stu or are you picks?
I don't know.
So here's the case. If I were to allow to try sway you,
Sway
the
me.
case for Stu, okay?
Okay.
6-0 in game 4s, always gets better later on in the series. Last year, his turning point, game 4, only gave up 1 goal against the Panthers. He has it in him to play good late in the series, and everyone sucked, so don't point the finger at Stu, okay?
I find it hard to point the finger at one individual
Yeah,
at
you
all.
can't.
Very much.
I just think we're at that point of the year.
I pointed
too,
at
where
the
it's
sun.
wrong
I blame
thing
the
to
sun.
do. Yeah.
Let me give you the Calvin Pickard case.
Okay.
Stu Skinner's been good now for, let's call it 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
He's been dynamite. We know that he is, he's consistently inconsistent. So if you think, and he was scrambling around last game, if you think the bloom is off the rose here a little bit and Stuart Skinner's lost his game, the only chance you have to go to Calvin Pickard, I believe, is in game 4.
Yeah.
Because if you lose game 4 and Pickard doesn't play well, then we're down 3-1. We're going to home ice.
Yeah.
This is Stuart Skinner's net again. If you go with Stu and he gets lit up in game 4,
Yeah, it's over.
I think you have a real hard time saying we're going to Calvin
Yeah.
Pickard with our season on the line in game 5.
So someone put in our chat today too, is like, how can you keep playing Stu? His goals against is almost 5 a game. It's like, so was Bobrovsky's before yesterday. And he found a way to bounce back. And we saw it last postseason. Like Stu found a way to get better as that series went on. You have to believe in him because he's proved it so much in the playoffs since he returned. What did he say to 10th, 11th start in a row yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And that was easily his worst game. And the other ones weren't particularly close to him reaching the floor.
Yeah.
The interesting thing I find with Stu is his highs are much higher than Pickard's, but I think the lows are lower than Pickard's as well. I think Calvin lives more in that middle zone.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But like Stu's ebbs and flows are much, much higher and lower.
I still trust him.
I do too. I just think
blindly.
I have a hard time singling the goalie out when the team was so poor in front of them.
I think he is an incredibly confident player. And yesterday there was a play that made me think about this despite everything that happened, but I don't remember exactly. It would have been the second period, I guess. But like the puck was coming down, there was a change and it was kind of mixed up. And Stu just went out and just jabbed at the puck, and he took like 5-6 strides out of his net. It's like, I think if a goalie wasn't confident in his abilities, he would have just stood in the net and just like braced himself for a shot. And I just don't think a win gets to him. I don't think a loss gets to him. He's just pretty neutral the entire time. Like Ty recalled this for me the other day too, but like, after game 3 in the cup final in the locker room, Stu just did not seem phased at all that they were down 3-0. He was just like, we come back tomorrow and we keep going. And then they went on, obviously they lost in 7, which sucked, but at least they got there. So I'm a believer.
Well, the job is to split on the road.
Yep.
And
get home ice advantage back, and then you're in a position where winning your home games wins you the cup.
Yep. And, we did a good job of making the Panthers feel extremely comfortable last night.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this team has given us no reason to doubt them and their ability to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad it's 2 days in between games because like it's just going to sit with them, but that could be a good thing. But
Gives the Panthers 2 days to feel real good about themselves.
Yeah.
On their own supply, if you will.
Yeah. Just sit in that air conditioned room for 2 days and look at that tape and come up with your game plan and what our response is going to be to this.
There's also the other angle that Knobloch has shown tactically he can make adjustments as the series goes on.
Yeah.
So you got to assume that the Oilers practice today, they will not practice tomorrow, that they're going to spend a lot of time in the video room.
Same lineup today, by the way, at practice as it was at the game.
Which is maybe a I'm not panicking thing from Knobloch, but also maybe a I'm not letting them know my next move.
Yeah. And I think, like yesterday, the D pairings were so different, and then the game started, and they were all back to the same. It's just like, well, you're not showing anything.
Post game, Matthew Tkachuk spoke to TNT about the shenanigans, and I quote, "It is what it is. We talk about being composed, and you've got to take a punch to the face. You got to take a slash to the face, a cross check, slash in the leg. Whatever the case is, you got to do it. There's a bigger picture with the win here for us. Just wanted to protect ourselves and protect our teammates when needed. At the end of the day, you've got to be smart in a game like this. I thought our team did that, really protected each other well."
They did. AJ Greer is a factor.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
There was a moment yesterday when Greer was going after Ekholm.
Oh, yeah. You're like mad at Ekholm.
Yeah. And then the linesman broke it up, and it was what it was. And then Ekholm went back and engaged with Greer. And Dmitry Kulikov just grabbed Ekholm on the back of the scuff of the neck and just pulled him out and just wrapped his arm around him. And it almost felt like a moment of like, you don't want to do that, buddy. Like, I'll save you here for a second. But also Kulikov beast mode.
Yeah, beast mode. Great sign.
Pre-game.
That's hilarious.
It was an interesting sign. Yep. The other quote that I wanted to give you guys is post-game. This one erupted when Zach Lang wrote it up at Oilers Nation. Chris Knobloch talking about the too many men. They got caught by too many men. It absolutely was. Would have been nice if they had called that in double overtime. Agreed.
I don't get it. Like, I can live with, like, you're in double overtime. You're not going to call someone for like a slight slash or something like that. But like, they called it over the glass because you have no choice. And when you have such like a clear and obvious too many men, like, I just think it's an easy one to get away with if you're a ref. Be like, well, what do you want me to do? He stood on the ice. The other guy jumped on in front of the puck area. But they didn't, and we lost.
Per Knobloch, I think the referees did an outstanding job tonight, and they even caught the too many men penalty in the first, which was too many men. They caught us. I just wish they had been calling it in game 2.
Series might be a little different if they had.
But that's not the way the cookie crumbled, as it were. So now the Oilers are down 2-1. I just think like this is not the time to panic either. I think that maybe after winning game 1, some of us thought this was going to be an easier road to winning than it was always going to be. And losing 2 in a row was just kind of Okay, little adversity has been dished out. Now, how do you respond?
Totally.
Yep.
With a win.
Yep. Can't dwell on it. We're moving on. On to game 4.
Do you consider it a must-win?
Yes.
Must-win game?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes. Psychologically, it needs to be given how that game went.
They need to have the approach and play desperate and all of that stuff and like play like their lives are on the line. But I'm not going to lie. If they're down 3-1, I'm going to have the utmost faith in them coming back and winning this series.
I mean, I believe they can.
They won 3 in a row last year. If they win 3 in a row this year, Liam, we did this earlier. What happens?
They win the Stanley Cup.
Just win 3 in a row.
They're in a better spot this year than they were last year.
Yep.
Yeah, but just win game 4.
Yeah.
It's all about the improvements, right? Year over year.
Yeah, slight adjustments.
Slight adjustments.
Next year we'll be up 2-1. Year after up 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to keep making it to the dance.
Yeah.
Easy thing to do.
The unfortunate part is that they have 2 days to dwell on it, or maybe the fan base has 2 days to dwell on it. I wish they were just getting back to work.
Yeah. Well, it's just such a weirdly scheduled series.
You got 2-day gap, and then bang, bang, 4 and 5. It is wild.
Yeah. The NBA really screwed it up here.
But then didn't you tell me they didn't even play on the weekend?
They played Sunday night. They didn't play Friday or Saturday. They played Sunday night. So why would you do that? And now they play tomorrow.
Doesn't make sense. Any positives from last night's game? Or were there none?
I liked that they showed some fight and said, you know what? We might lose, but we're taking a pound of flesh with us.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you're going to go down swinging.
Yeah.
That's the positive.
Just show that you care. They clearly all realized they did not have it in the tank, so they just did the one thing that they can do.
Yep.
And it's that.
Yeah. And I'm going to find the tweet from our boy Jay Rosehill, who is on Leafs Morning Take. And his tweet was interesting to me because he's obviously a Leafs guy, but he goes, the Oilers are not fucking around here. Not going to be the Panthers doormat despite the score. Oilers game 4. That's from Jay Rosehill.
Fucking rights, Rosie. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Puck line.
Should we get him on the show?
We should.
Rosehill?
Rosie.
You should. I'm coming on E.
Yeah.
It would be interesting for his take on like when a game devolves into shenanigans like that.
I didn't mind it as much as some other people did.
Who minded it?
I just hated the whole,
like, people online who was just saying like it's not good for the game and everything. It's like,
oh my God, this is the
game. Like the guys go out there and like they're getting destroyed right now. Whack that guy in the arm. Like, give him a shot in the back of the leg. Like, who cares?
Like the roof, like that's the only time the Panthers fans showed a heartbeat.
Yeah, like that's what I
was when that stuff was happening. I'm like, if that stuff happened in Rogers, it would be electric in there.
Oh man, it'd be so much
like
fun.
The people that say it's bad for the game, like, oh my God, you have to be the vocal minority because it's just in our reptilian brains to fucking get fired up from shit like that.
We are the species that used to go watch gladiators after all.
Exactly. And they would kill each other.
That's right.
We're just asking for a face wash and a glove punch and a slash.
Stinky face.
You know, it is bad for the game. Diving.
Oh,
that happens a lot.
That was embarrassing. If anyone should be embarrassed, it should be the Panthers for how they fucking flip-flop around when they're up 6-1.
Lundell is he is a championship diver.
The Forsling, when Kane cross-checked him in the first period, if you watch the replay, Forsling shoulder checks and sees that Kane's stick is out and almost like backs himself into it, then falls down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I also think yes, but the Oilers should know that's happening.
Yep.
And I think they got to be a little bit smarter with their sticks.
Well, and Kane needs to know, like the Lundell one, I can't think it was Kane.
That was Nurse.
That was Nurse.
Nurse and
like
Bowman.
he already gave him a few. And then Lundell understood and then backed into him, and then he gave him the one, and then he dropped.
It was like the refs gave him the first 2 for free.
Yeah,
the third one.
You know, the third one doesn't matter. And Lundell knows that.
Yep. But onward and upward. Nobody said this was going to be easy, right?
Nope. We need the drama.
That's what the Stanley Cup Finals is all about, my friends. Is that drama? Last night, unfortunately, Bet365. You got us last night. But we're coming for you in game 4.
That's right.
I have a series bet that I'm monitoring right now, and boy, is it ever juicy.
My Corey Perry to score 3+ goals is looking real nice.
Looking real nice. Want to get in on the action of the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you. From game props, player props, totals, and the money line, whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. Bet365, download the app, get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please be 19 years old or older and bet responsibly. Last night, we were heavy money line. At least I was.
Well, plus 125. I mean, that
it was juicy.
Yeah, you got to chase that.
But Tyler, your series bet that you've been following, you're right on the doorstep already.
Bouchard, 30 plus shots in the whole series. $14 into $438. They are currently offering me $350. He is at 24 shots through 3 games. Do I risk it for the extra $80 knowing he just needs 6 more and he's crushed that in every game and he just needs 2-3 more games to do it? Or do I just take the $350 and reinvest it in game 4?
I mean, when you put it that way, the reinvestment, you make a case to do it, but you know it's going to hit.
Other thing that's happened in the series, the over has hit all 3 games so far.
We're due for an under.
Comes tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
3-0 shutout.
100.
How juicy do you think puck line and under would be?
Puck line and under. I guess the Oilers are probably better underdogs tomorrow than they were yesterday.
Yeah.
What are they at? Plus 110 is my guess. Under, I would guess, is probably...
No, puck line, they're going to be +2 something. +2...
We're in puck line?
Oh, yeah, we're puck line
plus 270. That's where the juice
and
is.
then under, come. So you're probably close to plus 500, if not over.
Yeah, probably over. So plus 270, and then under 6.5. Under 6.5 is minus 125. I don't know how to do the calculation, but
it's sorry. Under is what? Plus what?
Minus 125. So yeah, you're probably sitting at about plus 500. Probably about plus 500. Yeah.
Yeah, plus 500. Yep. That's frothy, and that will be smoked tomorrow.
Yep. Do it. That was a really firm piss bump.
Maybe we should all have the same bet on Oni tomorrow. Make it really boring, but show a unified front.
Yeah.
Bouchard 9+ shots plus 14,000.
That would be very unified.
That would be very juicy.
Like Connor 3 points.
Oh, a big McDavid bounce back.
Well, you know McDavid's having a night.
Yeah. So we'll go puck line under 6.5, McDavid 3 points, and it'll probably, because those things don't exactly all correlate with the under and a lot of points.
1,100.
Oh yeah, it'll be like 12, 13.
Yeah. So maybe go 2 points just to be safe.
Yeah, maybe.
You gotta expect a depth goal tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or
Connor Brown.
Connor Brown showed some flashes of brilliance last night.
We actually did it the other day when we all did the Corey Perry.
Yeah,
we all said, we got one. Okay,
I would move Connor Brown up the lineup. I'd put him with Draisaitl or McDavid because I like the way he was moving with the puck on his stick, carrying it into the zone. I think you need more puck possession.
I got Pods at bet too.
Pods and Brown with Dry. I like that.
I just think puck causing can be useful in the battle. He's very composed too. He doesn't get drawn in to any of the crap. So I think he'd be a good play to have next to Draisaitl.
I just wish he got Dry because he's so sneaky tough.
He is very tough.
I would just imagine he got pulled into a fight and he one punched the guy
again. That
could have tilted the series.
Mm-hmm. Some numbers for you, courtesy of Jason Gregor. The Oilers and Panthers have played a total of 227 minutes and 34 seconds. The Oilers have only led for 27:47.
That's a concern.
The games have been tied for 73-35, but the Oilers have trailed for 126-12. They have trailed at the beginning of all 3 third periods.
Damn.
Wow. That's not ideal, is it?
Not great.
Not second periods. Our best one was yesterday.
Oddly, yeah.
Yeah.
And they still got outscored 2-1.
Yeah. Well, so at least we got one.
If you remember, the Oilers trailed 14-02 the entire series against Dallas in 5 games.
It's a different beast.
A much different beast.
It's a different beast.
So if we're going to look ahead at some keys to victory for game 4, a quick start has to be number 1 on the to-do.
Yeah. Score first early.
Score first, score early.
Like we have to be shot out of a cannon.
I'd also like to see them get in Bob's kitchen a little bit more.
Yes.
Like I think back to the series against Vegas, they were all over Aiden Hill.
Yes.
Yeah. They were all over Aiden Hill. And I even think against Dallas, they were in Jake Ottinger's kitchen more than they've been against the Panthers. Now, Victor Arvidsson tried to get in the kitchen a little bit.
Probably can't skate just directly into
No,
him, though.
probably just don't hit the goalie directly. But I appreciated the idea.
Yeah, I did too. That's the thing with all of those penalties is like you understand the battle idea to it, but it's just like, okay, like figure it out too. But my key to victory tomorrow, I mean, it has to be just be disciplined.
They have been shorthanded 10 times in the first period through 3 games.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Let's try to not take a penalty in the first.
That'd be big.
That'd be huge.
Oh, and like let Florida take the penalties and get 3 power plays and be up 3-0 in the first, and that building will somehow be quieter. Oh, I want it.
Well, and that's what they were trying to set up, right? They're trying to get them mad at them, so they might try to get some retribution.
That's why I think it's got to be like play between the whistles and ignore it. And you know what? They'll call you names and they'll mock you or whatever, but just turn the back. Let them do what they do. Let them take the penalty.
But that comment goes even further because there's times where they just something happened and they just stop, and the play's still going.
Hey, Pat.
Like play to the whistle.
Pat bought 24 Coronas.
Jeez. They're minis.
Oh, they're Coronitas
Only 7-ounce bottles.
So then why would you do that?
because they stay cold.
Do you guys want Pat to tell you what he heard at the rink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Say hello into the mic.
Yeah, that's probably better. Hey,
How's the rink? What did you hear?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little hard to hear when you're juggling a camera and a mic at the same time. But at this, I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect. They're talking about it's just one game. They came here for the split. We still have a chance. Darnell, there's saying that we got to play better in front of Stuart Skinner, and Ekholm kind of had the same thing. Like the media's trying to blame a lot of it on Skinner, and the boys had his back. So it's a lot of positive talk from them, which is
they
good.
didn't go full Pete DeBoer?
No, they did not.
Okay. Probably a good move.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting tactic.
So who spoke?
Ekholm, Nurse, Trent Frederick, and then they had.
What did Freddie have to say?
Yeah, what did he say?
Frederick was kind of he actually was kind of a funny interview. Like I said, it's hard to hear when you're kind of focused on shooting and making sure the mic's in the right spot and everything. But essentially they were kind of asking him about, playing with Marchand and now playing against Marchand and just kind of playing into the antics of the Panthers. And he kind of just said like, we're playing our game. We kind of fell into it in the third period, but he mentioned that like throughout the game, they were playing good and, not playing good, but keeping it under wraps, like responsible and whatnot. So I think he kind of just said it's not going to tail over from game to game unless the other team, the Florida, starts kind of bringing it up as well. So I think
you think Florida's going to though, like
for sure. I mean I think it kind of fits their style a little bit more than ours.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they wanted.
So before you got here, we were saying just like, I think to me, a big tactic for the Oilers tomorrow is like, just play between the whistles.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the noise.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we have the advantage in the skill wise. So if you can beat them on the scoreboard, that's really what matters. But I think at the same time, being where the game was yesterday in that third period, you kind of got to fight back a little bit. And I'm glad they showed that.
Yeah.
I was happy they showed it.
Yeah.
I was too. I was thrilled.
I said at the beginning of the third period, like go down swinging.
Did Knobloch say anything today?
They did have them, but I was setting up for America in the sheet, so I didn't get that.
Nice flex.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice flex.
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't get down there for Florida, did you?
No, we were still here.
Who cares what they have to say?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought anyways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What do you got for a key to victory tomorrow, Pat?
Key to victory. Well, have we made an assumption on who's going in net?
Wow. What are you trying to say?
I just want to know if you
What
guys
are your
brought it
thoughts?
up.
Well, work through it with us.
No, like I think you stick with Stuart Skinner, but I think the main thing is just, I don't think we played that well in front of him to the point where, you're kind of forcing him to be a little scrambly. And when he's tall and when he's confident, it's a little bit easier for him. So, I mean, the key to victory is getting the first one and setting the tone right away on the scoreboard, not so much after the whistles, and then forcing them to do those things between the whistles because I think, 11 power plays we gave them?
That's right.
So, I mean, that's another one we could talk about as well. I mean, we had 6 power play opportunities. You score 3 of those, it's a different game.
Yep.
I mean, we had 1, but 3 is massive. So taking advantage of that, I mean, the penalty kill was good, I suppose, if you look at it that way. But
terrible.
I really just think it's getting on them early and getting the confidence because we've seen this team play 60 minutes confidently in the playoffs. But
Tyler has quit the podcast. He's now going in the pool.
You can see him in the picture if you're watching on YouTube, which you can subscribe to.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. Watch Tyler ignore us as he goes to play on his phone. He might watch some TikToks. Oh no, he's taking a selfie.
I was swimming in the pool during O&E.
Yeah, a lot of people commented on that. Were you swimming or treading?
Both. I'll tread for a bit and then I'll do a couple laps.
You were swimming. Yeah,
treading water's hard.
I think that's probably about a 20-ish minute session. Yesterday was 35. I think that's also why it's very exhausting.
I was out here this morning. I had a 9 a.m. meeting and it was raining. It was crazy.
Partly why it's extra humid today.
Probably is.
Yeah,
a lot of clouds today. Actually,
a lot of clouds today.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Still sweltering hot.
Yeah, let's get in the pool.
I'm going.
Paddle actually to go all black today.
Yeah. I mean, in the arena though, freezing because they have the AC cranked. So cold. And like when you guys were there, it honestly wasn't that bad because the arena's full of people.
It wasn't bad. So my legs are gonna freeze.
That's why you're gonna wear pants. You got to pay the price early on, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
I just assume I'm gonna get pneumonia when I got home from going from 9,000 degrees into meat locker territory.
Mm-hmm. And when you're up in the rafters, like in the press area, it's right by the AC, right? So yeah, it's cold up there.
Wow. Tyler, what do you got for a key to victory? He's thinking. He's looking off in the distance.
Move the puck better out of your zone.
Puck movement.
That was another thing. The puck movement. That was another thing that drove me crazy last night. Is the Oilers breakout to the far blue line? That drives me nuts.
I don't
through a sea of red.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's no support passes there. There's nothing available.
Just so annoying. But I don't think anyone could hear what Tyler said. We just said puck movement. He said moving the puck out of our zone.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
That's why I wonder if Tony Stetcher is going to get in tomorrow.
I think you have to. I just think Klingberg's not been that good the last couple of games too.
I know plus minus isn't everybody's favorite stat anymore, but he was a -3 last night.
Yeah, it's not.
Who wasn't?
It's not nothing. Boucher's shot was actually 0 yesterday, which is quite impressive. Yeah, he was a 0.
Wow.
And I think he was one of very few players that was a positive.
Good on Boucher.
All right, here we go. So, no, Klingberg wore the green jacket.
Well, congrats, John. Bouchard was 0, right? I didn't get that right.
Bouchard was 0. Kulak was 0. Nuge was 0. Arvidsson was 0. Brown, Frederick, Henrik, Janmark, all 0. Wow. And then Draisaitl -2, Kapanen -2, Kane -2.
I guess they did only score 3 goals, 5-on-5. That's not like a crazy amount, is it? You know,
not really.
The damage was done on the
but like also teams. Like it's tough to get into the game when you spend an entire period in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They do need Kulak to probably find his game a bit more. That's another reason, again, why I would take Klingberg out. Just to get, I thought he was playing so well with Boucher.
Yeah, it just kind of, everything was going really, really well back there.
Yeah. Too bad.
Don't worry, they're going to fix it.
They'll fix it.
We believe.
Always believe. Yep. Hope will never die.
Well, they always get better as the series goes on. We've seen it the last couple of years.
Well, and to be fair, they can only get better. Doesn't matter what they do next game.
It will be better. Than what we watched yesterday.
It will be better.
Yep.
Yeah. McDavid did say we haven't shown our best. I would just, similar to last year, I know they have one more win than last year. Start showing your best in one of the opening 3 games.
Probably, yeah. It's probably a good time now to start showing your best.
Yeah, don't keep it secret.
Not a great. Don't be afraid to show your cards.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. You know?
Yeah, it's yeah.
I spent 9 hours on a plane to see it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yep.
McDavid did say it's coming though. He said we haven't played our best this series, but it's coming.
Oh, he's going to make sure of it.
Yeah,
trust me. He has put the no one can leave the hotel room policy. Stay cool. Do not get sunstroke again. They all had sunstroke last game.
Yeah, if you didn't hear. But
I'm assuming if they didn't have sunstroke, they're deeply dehydrated like I am right now as I'm sweating through everything.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say what Stu said? I don't know if you said it in the room, in the conference, or. Yeah, I mean, you can.
What do you mean? Like last night?
About the dressing room stuff? Someone said something?
Oh, yeah. He just mentioned that Draisaitl kind of sat everyone down after the game, was being really like a good, confident speech to everyone and just kind of inspiring.
Yeah.
So that they're not down in the dumps. They know it's just one game. And from what I got from the room in the dressing room, like they're still confident. So,
yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Awesome.
you can lose by 10 or you can lose by 1. It's still a loss.
Just a game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
You re-rack and play a new game.
that's right.
Keep on keeping on.
Not much else you can do than that.
Yep.
Any other keys to victory for tomorrow before we wrap it up?
Don't stop believing.
Elbow room pregame.
Yep.
Yeah. Wear a different jersey.
Did not bring 2. I'm riding the horse that's gotten us to the dance.
Okay.
Trent Frederick, anytime goal.
Okay.
If you think I should watch the game alone in my room on my iPad, you let me know.
Should we all watch it alone in our own rooms?
Yep.
Mine doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I might have to watch through one of your windows or something.
I just learned that you were raw dogging your sleeps also for the first night.
What do you mean?
You had no blankets?
Oh, well, I just, whatever blankets were late, like the throw pillows and stuff all around, I made it work. But then I was looking for the router and I opened up the closet and it stacked full of pillows and blankets. So I'm going to sleep good
Was there a
tonight.
wine opener in there?
There was not. No, I looked for that.
Were you tempted at all to roll up in like the bear carpet or whatever that thing is right there?
It's so soft.
It
I
is
was
very
thinking, but it's
soft.
thin.
Good
So I
on
don't
the
know. I
toes.
mean, in the heat, the thin might be good actually.
Yeah, you even put on these hurricane shutters to try and keep out the heat.
Well, I thought, I've never been here. I just thought that's what you do at night. You throw the hurricane shutters out. The
Never know it
heat
blows
stays
up.
out.
Never know.
But then
what
I'm trying to
yeah.
sneak out in the morning and just making a bunch of noise for you. I felt bad.
No, don't worry about it. I sleep really well. B, like if you do wake me up, I'll go right back to sleep. It's not a big deal. So don't worry about me.
Nice.
I do like my morning jump in the pool routine. It's very nice.
Maybe I'll do
Yeah,
that
we have a good
tomorrow.
zone here.
I'm going to get in the pool right now.
Yeah.
We could all
That's a
get
good
in.
call, actually.
Yeah, Coronita and little dip.
Little Coronita and a dip.
Yeah, I got fooled. It's a 24 pack and they were a pretty good price. And then I was carrying them in. I was like,
Half the
oh,
size.
they're little tiny guys. But the box looks normal size.
Yeah.
It'll just all make us feel bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's
We
a-
need an excuse
Like
to feel
Andre the
bigger.
Giant drinking a can of
Exactly.
beer.
I was thinking the problem, though, is usually you can ration. You'd be like, oh, I've had like 4 or 5. I'm not going to have any clue. I'm not doing math.
No,
So you're going to pound like 7 of those and be like, where am I at? I don't know.
couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
The beer
It's
math
maybe a
don't
good
compute.
strategy,
Hey, as long as you get to your objective at the end of the day.
I guess.
Mhm.
Solid night's sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
At
right.
at a decent time.
Yeah.
If you are in Edmonton, join us at Greta. The boys will be down there. They will do a pre and post game show. Aaron is going to be there as always. Lots of giveaways, lots of fun to be had at Greta. Get down there tomorrow or Thursday night. I keep wanting to say tomorrow.
I know.
It should be
Everyone
tomorrow.
Because you
Tomorrow,
should.
Thursday.
We should be saying tomorrow.
Thursday night. Plan to get down to Greta. It's always a great time to watch with the squad down there. And Oilers fans, my plea to you, if you're listening to this, positive vibes into the atmosphere.
Please.
Only.
Let's manifest this. It's a good vibes only podcast today.
Yes.
It hurts a little bit, but like Pat said, the boys aren't feeling it. Just we are. So let's hope for a better result on Thursday. Go back home, tie series, and it's a best of 3 with home ice advantage. So all is not lost here, friends. Lots of work left to do. And our team can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, Oilers.
Let's go, Oilers.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.